Waiting for us to go live now. Oh, we are live. Okay, cool. So today I'm doing reviews of 1976. These are the songs from 1976 that either impacted my life as a DJ or just changed people's views of music. We're going to count down from the 100 all the way down to the number one song. Now, according to Billboard, not me. I will interject my thoughts on the songs that are in here with different information, different things that I've learned over the years, and little tidbits of things that you may have not known. We're also live on Hamilton Radio. We're live on the internet radio channel. We're also live on the YouTube and Facebook. At the same time, we're live now on StreamYard. So join us. The first song that was at number 100 was, and this is not my conclusion. This is what Billboard is saying for the year. Country Boy, You Got Your Feet in L.A. by Glenn Campbell. A good song. However, I wouldn't have put it as 100. I probably would have put it in like maybe the 80s or something because it's a pretty decent song. The second song, counting down now to 99, is Squeeze Box by The Who, which I would have thought would have been one of the top 5 or top 10 songs of that decade or that year of 1976. Take the Money and Run by Steve Miller Band. Now, a lot of people don't know Steve Miller was also in a bunch of different bands as he was a session musician. Boz Scaggs was in his band, Steve Miller's band. Disco Duck by Rick Dees, which was a DJ in California for a while. They rate that at 97. I would have rated that like the last song. I mean, it's okay. It's still not, it's more of like a novelty song, but it's not really that great of a song. 96 is Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss. You know, Gene Simmons, Paul Simmons, Paul Stanley, and a bunch of other people that were in it. I don't really rely on that as a good thing because I would have thought Rock and Roll All Night, because it's been played a lot, has probably like in the top 10 or 20 or 30. That's where I would list it. Trying to Get the Feeling Again is number 95 by Barry Manilow. Now, I don't agree with that either because I'm a big Barry Manilow fan. I mean, I love his music. It's incredible. And that Trying to Get the Feeling Again was a really good song back then. I would have rated that like in the top 10, at least top 10. And I wouldn't say so much like a lot of my friends will say, oh, they're easy listening. I wouldn't say they were easy listening. I would say he's more like easy. I would say like not easy listening, but more like light rock. If people say yacht rock, whatever that means, I don't even know what that's another genre that people just come up with. Yacht rock. No, it's not yacht rock. It's acoustic. It's good sounding songs, great lyrics, great music behind it. That's what I considered it at. All right. Number 94 is Junk Food Junkie by Larry Roach. Even though I know the song, I would have put that past Disco Duck. I'm sorry. I would have not said 94 for that. And I might be wrong with this too, but I'm going to be wrong with it. Number 93, Give Up the Funk, Tear the Roof Off the Sucker by Parliament. I was never a big Parliament funk side guy. I didn't mind them, but I didn't really get into them too much. I had a lot of friends that were liking Parliament and they thought they were really cool, but I was never that kind of guy. I love funk, but I just wasn't Parliament. You know, I thought they were good, but I just didn't, you know, great accomplished musicians, but it wasn't my cup of tea music wise. So we go into 92, which is a friend of mine, Duncan Farrar. Was in the Bay City Rollers. I think he's been in the Bay City Rollers for a long time, but the song is called Money Honey. Now, even though I know Money Honey is a song, I wouldn't say that was one of their top 10 songs. I wouldn't even gave it a 92. I would have put it way past other things. Hey, Arnie. And number 91, Neil Sedaka, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. That would have been my top 10 or 20 or even the top 30 songs of that 1976. That's my opinion only, because Neil, with Laughter in the Rain in 1975, it was such a great song too. You probably guys don't agree with me on this, but Young Hearts Run Free was number 90 by Candy Stanton or Staten. And I thought it was a good song, but I would have never put it up. I mean, I would have put it a lot later, probably 96, 97, where Barry Manilow is, I would have exchanged. Baby, I Love Your Way live from the Frampton Comes Alive album, 1976. That was 89 on the Billboard charts. Peter Frampton. Baby, I Love Your Way, to me, was a great, great song by Peter. And I'd say it's in the top 20s, at least top 20s, not 90, 89. It's just not a good word for it. And again, you may not agree with all the words and the things I say, but this is what I say. 88, number 88 was Walk Away from Love by David Ruffin, which, again, I don't agree with. I think that song should have been in the top 20 or 40 at least. It's a great, great tune. Another one I don't agree with is The Boys Are Back in Town, 87. That should have been up in the top 10 or 20. That was played all the time. Thin Lizzy, great, great song, guys. Awesome band, too. Hoochie Coo was 86 with the Ohio Players. Again, I've liked some of their hits, but I really never got into the Ohio Players. So there's another band there that I really didn't think was, not that it weren't bad, it's just they weren't my cup of tea. I wasn't listening to that stuff at the time, so I wasn't really into them. I was into bands like Chicago, the Beatles, heavily in the 70s. Queen, ELO, all big 70 bands for me. Eagles, not these other bands. All they were good. I just they weren't my cup of tea. Here's another band that I really liked in the 80s, 70s, 1976. And coming in 85 was Slow Ride by Foghat. Now, I met Roger Neal, and Roger's been the drummer for them for probably over 30 years. And I asked him, I said, Roger, I said, the biggest song that people ask you to play is probably Slow Ride. He says, yeah, that's pretty much it. He said, because that's such a great song. And that was an 8-minute song on the FM radio charts, on FM radio back then. It's a long song. The edited version is like 4 minutes, which made it to AM radio and other things. But that's a great song. Great drum riff. Wonderful type of song. All right, 84, we have With Your Love, which was by Jefferson Starship. After we were becoming from Jefferson Airplane, they became Jefferson Starship. Mostly everybody's still in the band, and this is before Mickey Thomas. With Your Love. Great sounding song. It's still played today. I still play it all the time. I love that stuff. All right, so we're going to go into we're still in the 1976. We're going into the number 83 on the Billboard charts was You're My Best Friend by Queen. Great tune by Freddie and Gang. I love this song. It's not my favorite, but it's probably one of my favorites for the 70s, next to Killer Queen, which I think was a good song too. It was always played. Coming in at 82, which I think should have came in a lot higher because it's been played a lot. I mean, this song has been used by WABC or ABC Network for TV back in the 70s. You're Still the One by Orleans. A great, great song. Many, many people still don't even know who Orleans is. They were a band back then that were pretty damn good. Oh, look at my friend Anthony Longo, right? Killer Queen is an awesome song. You're right, Anthony, brother. You're right. These reviews, by the way, guys, are my opinions only, but also I'm using Billboard to kind of get an idea of where the songs fit in the music. When I was a DJ, I played a lot of these songs, but I didn't play them from Billboard. I played them according to what people wanted to hear. I played them according to what people wanted to say about the songs. And I played the music that needed to be played that others weren't playing, and I still do the same damn thing. So, still the one. 1981 was Hall & Oates, She's Gone. Now, She's Gone is a great song, don't get me wrong, but I also heard another band that did it. And I don't know who did it first. I'm still trying to figure it out. When I listened to John Oates talk or Daryl Hall, they said they wrote the song. Absolutely, I agree. Anthony, I agree 100% with you, brother. 100% with what you're saying. In fact, we need to do a review together, you and I, because I think we could make something pop on that. So yeah, I think that would be really cool too. I love to do reviews with people. Professional musicians, they're the best people to do it with because you get into the detail of the song. You get into the chord structures and the changes. You get into the sound levels. You get into maybe a background moog or something like that you didn't ordinarily hear. And I love talking about that stuff because anything music, it just strikes me as a way to make people understand your point of view coming from that song. What makes that song sound so good was not only that it was played a lot, of course, they played it to death, they always do, but the song structure and how it was created was really, really done well. So She's Gone, Hall & Oates, great song, I like that song. Coming in at 80 was a song called Getaway, and that was by Earth, Wind & Fire, another favorite band of mine that I didn't get into till after I started hearing ELO. Earth, Wind & Fire, great horn section. Maurice White, one of the prominent singers, Philip Bailey, another great singer in the band with the high voices, created all these songs and made these songs, I would say legends, you know. I would have taken Getaway and probably moved it up maybe to 40 or 50. Again, these are my numbers. The numbers you're hearing are Billboard. Okay. Number 79, coming in 1979. In 79, the number 79, Fanny Be Tender With My Love by the Bee Gees. Another falsetto song, ballad song. I wouldn't have said that it would be in the 70s. I would have said it would probably be like more in the 40s and 50s because I like the Bee Gees. I love their harmonies. I love their the songs that they created. Whether they borrowed the lyrics from somebody else, it does not matter. It's how they created it. All right. And of course, coming in at 78 is the Beatles, Got to Get You Into My Life, which I would have thought would be like in the top 10 in 1976. Got to Get Into My Life, of course, was redone by a lot of the bands. And of course, one of the bands, Earth, Wind & Fire, redid Got to Get Into My Life for the soundtrack, Sgt. Pepper. Okay. Coming in at 77, Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac, the original Fleetwood Mac, after Peter Green left. Bob Welch, I think, just left them or was still with them at that time as far as a touring person. Not sure if he was still with them as a session person or on the album. But Rhiannon was a good song about a Welsh witch called Rhiannon. Coming in at 76 was Fox on the Run by Sweet. A great song. Now, some people always told me, they said, I thought that was ELO. That song sounded like ELO to them. With, I think it's the structure of the echo of the song that Brian Connolly created. I would love to ask the guy, Steve Turner's from Sweet, sometime, or the other guy from Sweet that's in Welshman's Hill, when they wrote that song, what were they thinking? Were they thinking like, we got to be like ELO or on their own path? But I would have thought Fox on the Run would have been a lot higher in 1976. Let Her In by John Travolta. It's a nice ballad, but it's nothing that, yep, Love Is Like, that was 1979, Anthony. That was 1979. In fact, you're welcome to come in here and do this with me if you want, brother. I'd be glad to have you. I'll send you the link now. You can come in and join me if you want. I think it'll be fun. I'll send it to you on, where the hell are you? Because I'm on Messenger too. I'm on, where the hell am I? I am on, and Anthony and I wrote a song together. So I'm working on doing some more songs. But I'll send it to you, Anthony. I'll send it to you on your Messenger. So if you want to come in, you're welcome to come in and join me. I think that would be great. Oh, your camera shine. Well, you can turn your camera off and just talk, bro. You can turn your camera off and just talk if you want. That's fine. I don't care. You don't have to talk. I'm just, this is another endeavor of mine. No problem. No problem. Whatever works. Because I figure if you're a singer and you're not afraid to sing in front of people, then you're not afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to talk in front of people. I've never been afraid to talk in front of people. But back to Let Her In, I would have never put that at 75. I would have way like 80 or 90, you know? My thoughts. All right. War did a song at 74, the song called Summer. Bro, you can still be like me. You don't have to. It's fine. It's all good. Summer. Even though I like the band War, they did a lot of great stuff. Yeah, the Travolta song, I don't play it that much. It's one of them songs that just came out around that time and people liked it. I don't know. My opinion, I just, it's okay. But Summer and War, it's all right. I'm not going to say it was a bad song, but it wasn't my cup of tea. I liked other songs. Here's a song I liked it came in 73, was Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. And they had so many great songs in the 70s. Bad Luck. This song, Wake Up Everybody. That was a more of an R&B song, but a really, really cool song. I liked that song. I like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. I liked Teddy Pendergrass. I liked his voice. All right. Now, again, some of these songs you're going to understand, some of the songs you're not going to. Coming in at 72, which I don't even know why I would have put this with Let Her In. It's not a bad song. I'm Easy by Keith Carradine. And Keith, of course, is one of them artists that just a solo artist, came around, started writing songs, and pretty much one hit wonder. Didn't hear anything from him ever again. At least I have never done. I never researched it, never wanted to find out. But it's not a bad song. I'm Easy. I don't think it's a great song, but it's my idea. 71, that came in number 71, was Wham Bam by Silver. Now, I don't even know who the hell that is, to be honest with you. And I never really played that song. So I don't know. There's a lot of songs I don't know as a DJ. There's a lot of songs that I never heard as a DJ from the 70s, 76, what we're talking about right now. So please forgive me. I'm not trying to put the artist down. I just don't know of the song. All right. Here's a song I know and I love, which I wouldn't have put in the 70s. I would put this in at least, Easy Like Summer. No, Easy Like Summer Mornings, I believe is Sunday Mornings is the Commodores. And that was with Lionel Richie. I'm Easy. You can look it up on YouTube if you really want to know more about it. But that came in at 70 in Billboard, 1976. This would have been like one of my top 10 songs. Evil Woman by ELO, Jeff Lynne and company. Again, this is one of the songs that I've heard thousands of times, right? Great intro, great song, great chord structure, very simple guitar chords, and just a great song overall. Great strings. I love the song. And of course, I love Face the Music. It was a great album. So ELO number 70, I would have put it in at least the top 10 or top 5. That's my opinion. Okay. 69, we go into a jazz guy. Now, this is George Benson. George Benson, of course, did some great jazz tunes. A lot of banging on the bass with his thumb, plucking the bass as a jazz musician. The song is called This Masquerade. Now, you guys, yeah, great groove. You guys would know this song because in the 70s and early, I think late 70s, this was played at weddings. This was the intro that everybody used for announcing the bride or groom at the receptions. And we had the same thing go on. It was a great, great tune for that. And everybody knew it. Everybody knew the song. Everybody knew who was the artist. And again, I would have put that in the top 10 because it was a great, great tune. It's nothing fancy, but just that's the way it is. All right. Coming up in 68 was Babyface. Wing and a Prayer, Fife and Drum Corps. I never even heard the song. Okay. Again, there's going to be a lot of songs on here that I never heard of or don't know anything about. I never decided to get involved in the song because I never knew nothing about it. So sometimes I, look at Billboard and I'm like, never heard that song before. Don't know what that one's about. And that was it. All right. So I'm not going to say anything else about that. But this next song, I would have definitely put this in the top 10 or 20 because this is one of the Beatles. It came in at 67, Let 'Em In by Paul McCartney and Wings, which was just at that time, Wings. It's not Paul McCartney and Wings. It's just Wings. This is with Joe English. This is with Jimmy McCullough on guitar. These are the guys that were part of the band. Denny Lane was part of Wings back then. And I also heard Paul McCartney say, this is just a little tidbit here. I heard Paul McCartney say that if it wasn't for Denny Lane, he would have never found the Wings. Oh, yeah, over and over. And it's one of them songs, Anthony, it's one of them songs that you're going to hear forever because it's just a good, cool tune. Somebody's knocking at your door, just let them in. Right. Great song. Simple, sweet, but very, very recognizable. See, that's what these artists try to do. You got to understand, they want to hit your groove, but they also want to hit your nerve, an emotional nerve, which a lot of the artists back in the early 70s and even 80s knew how to do. They knew how to pull your heartstrings. They knew how to make you feel good. They knew how to talk about something that was either going to make you feel good or make you feel something. All right. So the next song at 66, and again, I'm not saying anything bad about the band, was called Let's Do It Again. The Staple Singers. Now, everybody knows the Staple Singers were a bunch of gospel people. They were gospel singers, and it's not that their songs were bad. Again, it's what's your cup of tea. It's okay. It's a good song, but I wasn't into that kind of music back then. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just part of who I am as a person. All right, coming in at 65, which I would have thought this song would have been a lot higher to the top. Island Girl by Elton John. Now, I always liked this song. It's a great tune. It's got that guitar, that slide guitar in the beginning of it. It's got Elton's great vocals and Bernie Taupin's great lyrics with him combining. And it just was a good song. I loved Island Girl. I would have thought it'd be in the top 10 or 20. Again, this is my opinion only on all these reviews. My opinion only. Watch my ELO review and you let me know what you think. I think you're going to agree with a lot of the stuff I say. I know Anthony will. I think Anthony will. All right, so we're going to go to number 64, and that is Saturday Night by the Bay City Rollers. Now, again, yeah, great. Anthony says, love Elton John. I agree with that. Nice work on the arrangement. Absolutely agree. 100%. I just want to get that out. Saturday Night by the Bay City Rollers, probably one of the anthem songs before We Will Rock You by Queen that's played more than anything everywhere. AM radio, FM radio, dances, different things. No, you agree with me no matter what. Thanks, brother. You're awesome, bro. But no, I think that Saturday Night was a pinnacle song for everything. Not that it was my favorite, but it was a good song, good chord structure, good words, talking about Saturday night. Everybody wants to get out Saturday night and have a great time. Everybody wants to enjoy their time out with their families and friends. And whether you're with a bunch of singles at a bar or you just want to be together, it was just fun. It was a fun song. All right. The next song, 63, which again, not my cup of tea, but not a bad song. Shop Around by Captain and Tennille. Now, a lot of people don't know and probably won't understand, but Shop Around was also done by, you guys know who it is, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Tony Tennille and Daryl Dragon, who was Captain and Tennille at that time, redid the song in their own version that way. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Coming in at 62 was the Rock and Roll Music by the Beach Boys. Great tune, guys. Great tune. They did a great job with it. My friend Mike Love, Al Jardine, Bruce Johnson, even my friend Philip Marks, I think, was on that. And they were all part of the Beach Boys, and they did a great job with that song. That was the amazing thing about the Beach Boys. They can take any song and make it their own, and they've done that with America. What the hell's the name of the song? I can't even think about it now. I'm all over the place with this stuff. But California Dreamin'. They took California Dreamin', redid it, put sax in the front of it, and resold it, and it was a freaking great tune the way they did it. Made it sound like a brand new song, in my opinion. My opinion only. All right. A great song by a band that you would probably know. They're called the Brothers Johnson. Now, you talk about a groove band. The Brothers Johnson were that type of groove. The song is called I'll Be Good to You. You heard this in the 70s on every freaking radio station you could hear. Great tune. Wonderful song. Great chord structure. And I would say that would probably be further to the top. Was a great tune. Great tune. No doubt in my mind. Now we're going to go into a little bit of disco, because in 76, they started going into some disco songs. A little bit here and there, right? Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel by the band Tavares. Tavares were brothers, and they came up with some great tunes. And that was one of them. Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel, with that great drum riff, drum set, and then, of course, guitar riff. Great sounding disco at that time. And it was just one of them songs that I would have thought would have been in the top 10. See, that's why I said if I had my own list, my list would be so different than this. A lot of the songs would have been in the top 10. And you can only get so many songs in the top 10 at that time. So, all right, here we go. Into number 59, Sing a Song by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yes, they do. Tavares does appear on it. Yep, you're right. My friend Anthony Alongo says they appear on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, I think. Yes, you're right. They did More Than a Woman. Why the Bee Gees did More Than a Woman. So there was 2 More Than a Womans on that soundtrack, I believe, from my memory. I remember. Sing a Song by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Great tune. Love the horn section in that. And just the whole composition of the song. It was very done well. But I would have thought, again, these would have been in the top 30s or 40s. We're talking about it's in the 69. It was 59. Another song that was pretty good, because I used to watch, it's called Welcome Back by John Sebastian. Everybody knows John Sebastian is from The Loving Spoonful. We interviewed him a while ago. Great guy. But Welcome Back to Me was a song that was made for Welcome Back Kotter, which it was. Welcome Back Kotter was the show that had Lawrence Hilton Jacobson, John Travolta, and many other people like Gabe Kaplan, Marcy, just a lot of great people in the show. Robert, yeah, a lot of great people in the show. Funny show. But that song would have never went to that level if it wasn't for the show. Remember that. It's just a song until something propels it further. I would have thought that it'd be in the top 40s. So that's off a little bit, not too much. Here's a song. I was a big CB guy back in the 70s. And I had my own CB. I had my own handle. I used to talk to everybody all over the country. Every state was a friend of mine in every state I had. I used to be on Channel 9 React for people. It was really a lot of fun. But coming in at 57 was Convoy by C.W. McCall. And C.W. was just a singer-songwriter, was in the CB. He wrote a song, had to have a great catch line, but it was the movie Convoy that propelled the song further. Nobody knew what a convoy was. Nobody knew that it was all truckers, 18-wheelers getting together to drive together to go higher than the speed limit, to penetrate the police force lines and do whatever the hell they wanted to do. That's what a convoy was about. Doesn't mean they were bad. It's just that maybe they wanted to live their own rules. That's what the convoy was about. I talked to a lot of 18-wheelers back then, and that's what they told me. We want to live by our own rules. We don't want government or state, federal government, or police to tell us what to do, where to go, and how to get products or deliveries to wherever they got to go. We handle it. Okay. Enough said. All right. At 57, I would have put it a lot later. I would have put it maybe in the 80s or 90s. I would have switched some around. Again, my opinion. All right. Coming in at 56, Fooled Around and Fell in Love. Elvin Bishop. All right. Elvin, and everybody doesn't know this, but do you know who the singer was for Elvin Bishop at this time? That Fool Around and Fell in Love. If you listen to that song and you play Sarah by Jeff from the Starship, at that time it's the same, or the guy that did Jane is the same guy, same voice that was on the Elvin Bishop Fooled Around and Fell in Love. He was a singer for Elvin, and he was a very good singer back then. So this is one of them songs that has a great guitar riff, great solo, and a great sing-along song. It's very comforting to know that he did that other stuff too. That's why, again, I'm going to give you tidbits. I'm going to give you things that you may have not heard before. I'm going to give you things that you're like, wait a minute, I didn't know that. Well, now you do. That's what I do. I was a DJ. I know the artist. I know this. I know that. And you can look it up if you want. But sometimes you need to hear who this was. You need to know who this was. All right. So going into 55, which again is a song I play every Halloween, and we play it every now and then, by a guy named Cliff Richard, who was big in the UK for a long time. All right. He was in a lot of great bands in the 60s. A lot of people don't know that. But he did a song called Devil Woman. Now, that was a great song that he had done. But again, I would have moved that song more to the top, because I would have think at least the top 30 or 40. They got it at 55. So that's, again, my only opinion, but great song nonetheless. Now, here's a song coming in at 54. All right. It's by Paul Anka. Now, of course, Paul Anka has wrote some great songs. Destiny, Diana, and just many, many really things. The thing with Paul Anka was this song. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I'm going to give you a little information on this. You're right. She's just devil with evil on her mind, right? The difference is with this song was done for a camera company. All right. It's called The Times of Her Lives. I remember the commercial, The Times of Your Life. It's actually a really good song that if Barry Manilow did it would be done well, but Paul Anka did it. And it was a really well done song that was pushed by the camera company to sell the song and sell the cameras. Okay. All right. All right, going back to 53 now, and we're still in 1976, guys. By the band Fleetwood Mac. Again, they're on the list. Say You Love Me, a great song. Christine McVie killed it with her lyrics on this song. This is still played on adult radio stations. It's still played on many of the radio stations that I listen to, of course, on Hamilton Radio. It's always on. But I love Fleetwood Mac. Just a great band with Stevie Nicks, Lindsay, and all the people in it, including Christine McVie. Wonderful songs that came out of their voices at that time. So that what I would have said, Say You Love Me, probably be in the top 20, not top 50. All right. All right. Here's another great song by another great band. Going into the R&B, soul, funk type thing again. Coming at 52, according to Billboard, I Love Music by the OJs. Now, I love the OJs. They did Backstabbers. They did I Love Music. They did a lot of great songs, and it had that disco, funky, R&B soul sound that I loved. And I really loved this song. It really made me feel good. Hey, Dodie, how are you, my dear? How you doing, Dodie? I'm good. I'm just trying to do a review here. I Love Music by the OJs is still a number one song for me. I would have put that in the top 10. Like I said, I would have a lot of competing things in the top 10, but that's just my opinion again. Okay. So going on to the next song, and it's still a big song for this band. At 51, this is called Dream On, and it's actually made by Aerosmith. And it was still one of their number one songs. I mean, they still play it at their concerts. Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, and great band members. Still great rock and roll band. But they had so many other power ballads in the 80s that made them even better. But still my number one song by them, Dream On. It's like when you have a first tune that people remember over and over again, year after freaking year, decade after decade, that song is your pinnacle. You can rise above it, but nobody will forget about it. Yeah, exactly, right? Great song. Unbelievable that it's so far down the list. I would have put it like in the top 10 because, again, that's what I think. And I'm comparing my stuff. The whole thing is I'm comparing my music genres and progression of what I like to where it is on Billboard to where I would have put it. So you're getting both opinions. You're getting Billboard numbers and you're getting my numbers. Okay. All right. So on to number 50, Show Me the Way. Another great tune by Peter Frampton. Of course, this was really made famous on the Frampton Comes Alive album, 1976. That album was, I believe, a double album. It had a lot of great tunes on it. And Show Me the Way was one of them. Just an amazing song that just stands the test of time. Like Baby, I Love Your Way. I would have not put it at 50. I would have definitely, hey, John, how are you, buddy? John, you and I got to do this review sometime, bro. You got to do this with me. If you're available, you can come now and do it with me. The 70s, Anthony, the 70s will never happen again, right? But at the same time, remember, all of the great music that's out there is from the earlier years. In other words, you had decades and decades of great, great songs. Now what's coming out? Not too much. Stuff that maybe we write, stuff that maybe we put out, songs that maybe I write that people like, songs that you write that people like. People hear it, they like it. That's great. But the 70s, 80s, the songs are just never going to be topped. You know, I realize that. And that's why I think that having a radio station like mine, I give that opinion to other people that might want to change something. They can do that, or might want to be different on it. That's fine too. They don't have to. By the way, we're live on TikTok too. So just my opinion again, guys, my opinion only, that I would have put and show me the way in the top 10, at least top 10. All right. Now going to some of the bands that I really like other than ELO, coming in at 49 was the band at the time called Boss Skaggs, which Boss Skaggs really wasn't a band. Boss Skaggs was a studio musician, as we told you, from Steve Miller. All right. Boss Skaggs, the band that was with Boss Skaggs at the time when he did Silk Degrees, 1976, great album, by the way. Freaking love that album. I agree. Yeah, I know. You're right, bro. Hold on one second. Let me see what my buddy John is saying. The artists from the 70s are still making music a lot today, are not even known, like the Outsiders. I know. I tell him that all the time. Absolutely. I get it, bro. I don't understand why, but some of them just don't. But let me get back to this. So the song was called Lowdown, which I love. Lowdown. I love the great bass riff in it. I love the flute in the beginning. I love the way Boss set the song up. And of course, the band at that time was not really a band yet. They were Toto. They started out as studio musicians. My good friend Steve Lukather, that I talk to every now and then, was in that band. And he's been a forefront in all the other bands after that. As a studio musician, he got to play with some great, great people, including Ringo Starr from the Beatles and many, many other people like Eddie Van Halen and Michael Jackson. So if you guys didn't know that, now you do. But I would have never put that at 49. I would have put that in the top 10. Again, more top 10s dying for a position here. All right, a good song from another band in 1976. This is when Chicago, the band, changed their sound a little bit. They went to more like ballad songs. And this was, of course, a great song for me by Pete Cetera as lead vocalist. This came in at 48, which was If You Leave Me Now. A haunting, great song with string arrangements and wonderful Pete Cetera vocals, I would say. But a good song nonetheless. All right. So going in at 47, number 47, according to Billboard charts again, a song called Shannon by Henry Gross. Now, I just recently found this out. I don't know if you guys know this, but Henry Gross was with the band Sha Na Na. I did not know that. Henry Gross also wrote this song. Do you guys know he wrote this song for Dennis Wilson about his dog dying? The dog was called, I think the dog was called something else, but they just named it Shannon. But that's a little information for you. Okay. Now, coming in at 46 was the Dr. Hook. At that time, they were called Dr. Hook, not the Medicine Show anymore. Dr. Hook. See, bands change their names, and I think that's confusing to people. When you change your name from something to something else, people don't know who you are. They think you're a different band. Well, what happened to the Medicine Show? They're not around anymore? People get confused. The song was called A Little Bit More, and it's a good tune, but I would have put it way further down. I would have not moved it up at all. I don't think that it deserves to be at 46. I think it maybe needs to be at 50 or 60. That's just, again, my opinion only. All right. Coming in at 44 was a song by Rufus, before it was Rufus with Chaka Khan, called Sweet Thing. And it's an okay song. Again, I don't feel it as a great song, but it's a good song. Okay. Here's another good song. Coming in at 43, Diana Ross. Theme from Mahogany, Do You Know Where You're Going To? It's a great song. No matter, you can bar none, it's still a good song. It's a soft, slow ballad, but it's still a good song. All right. Coming in at 42, I don't agree with this at all, because even though I liked some of the songs they did, I don't think that this song was that great. All right. Deep Purple, the song is called, by Donnie and Marie Osmond. I would have moved that way down with Let Her In by John Travolta. That's just my point. I would have never moved it up, but that's my point. Coming in at 41, staying with the disco now, Love to Love You Baby by Donna Summer. It was okay for a disco song, but it was too repetitiveness, a lot of repetitiveness in it. Didn't make it a bad song, made it great for dancing, but it wasn't something that I really like to hear all the time. So I would put that way down later. All right. Going into 40 now. Number 40 on the Billboard charts in 1976 was All by Myself by Eric Carmen. And Eric Carmen from the Raspberries. Eric Carmen was intensely going solo out on his own. And All by Myself was one of them songs that he did. Really good song. No, I agree with you there. The song is good. Now, my friend Anthony Longo says he loves that song, the Passion and Donna vocals. I don't care. Listen, you guys can disagree with me. That's what I want you to do. I want you to show me what I'm missing. And I'm not always feeling the same thing you may not feel. Because at a different time, I heard that song and I wasn't just really, it was okay, but it was my favorite. But All by Myself was a great song, especially if it's the full version where they do that piano. I believe it's a piano solo in the middle. Really great song too. Okay, now back to 39. We have another song by Captain and Tennille. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It was long, but he didn't want it to end. Right, it was a real long song. I mean, the disco version on the 12-inch disc, I think, was like 12 minutes or 14 minutes long. I mean, that's what that 12-inch LP was like. It was crazy. And he says All by Myself is great too. Yeah, I agree with that. It's just a great song. Seemed like anything that Eric Carmen touched back in the 70s was like gold. All right, we're going to get into number 39, which is done again by Captain and Tennille. And you're going to hear a lot of the same artists come up and come up and come up and come up because they had so many hits that some of their hits made it, some of their hits didn't. And we're going to talk about the artist. We're going to talk a little bit about the artist, talk a little bit about the music in the artist. We're going to talk about what made the song a little bit better than some others and where I would have put it on the charts. That's the whole idea about doing this review. So as we're looking at this song, it's called Lonely Night, Angel Face. And again, not a favorite song of mine, but it's not a bad song. My favorite song of theirs was Love Will Keep Us Together. It was just one of my songs because Neil Sedaka helped write that song for her and also was on that song as a collaborative effort. So that song to me speaks Neil Sedaka, okay? That's why, even though Angel Face was okay, still wasn't my favorite, all right? Here's another disco song for you guys that you might like, and it's still a good tune today. Turn the Beat Around. It came in at 38. Vicky Sue Robbins. Again, if you liked disco at that time and you were dating somebody, this song was good. It's like Ring My Bell. They're okay songs. They're disco songs. I at that time was a rock guy. I like my rock songs. I didn't mind disco, but I didn't say it was bad. Yep. Turn the beat around. Live to hear percussion. Yep. Yep. Another song that I like back in the 76, and I agree with this, 37, I would have definitely put it a lot because I play it a lot and I also hear it a lot. By an ex-Spooky Tooth member from the band Spooky Tooth, was Gary Wright. And the song is called Dreamweaver. What a great Moog synthesizer entrance song throughout. It makes you feel like you're in a dream state. And I love that tune. Always loved it. Loved it. I love Gary Wright's voice. And the Dreamweaver album was, I think I only had 2 hits on it. But great song from Gary Wright. All right. We're going to go into number 36. Now, I definitely don't agree with this. I think this song should have been in the top 10, okay? And I'll tell you why. This was from a country duo. The band is called the Bellamy Brothers. The song is called Let Your Love Flow. What a freaking song. Again, the chord structure, the guitars, the sound of it, the way it flows off your mouth when you sing, let your love flow like a mountain stream. It was just a freaking awesome tune that everybody loved to sing. You'd love to hear it. I would have put that in the top 10. Easy. My top 10, that would be one of my top 10s right there. All right. Going into 35. The song is called Only 16. Oh, cool. My friend Anthony Longo says, I saw them at Billy Bob's about 8 years ago. I'm surprised they're still together. I love that band. They were a great band. Country rock, country pop at that time. All right. Only 16. Again, Dr. Hook. They dropped the Medicine Show, right? The song Only 16, again, not my favorite, but okay. It's a good tune. I had other favorites from them. I would have put that further down. All right. Let's go with this song. Now, I like the song because I like the keyboards in it. And he's a good friend of mine. We talked about a lot of his songs on the interview I did with him. But the band is called Starbuck. And one of their only songs at that time in 1976 was called Moonlight Feels Right. Was a great, as they say, yacht rock. I still don't know what that means, but to me, it's rock. It's a laid back track, like Ambrosia at the time, or any of the bands that sounded like that with a lot of vocals. Even 10cc at that time was a lower, more vocal band. So Moonlight Feels Right. All right, that was 34. I would have definitely kept it about that. So that's about right. 33, coming in 33 was Golden Years by, of course, the one and only David Bowie. I would have put that up at least in the top 10 or 20, because David, to me, he was like excelling in the 70s, with Starman, Space Oddity, and not only Golden Years, but many of the other tracks. Changes was a great tune that I love all the time. I play that all the time. I love David Bowie's earlier stuff. Diamond Dogs was also a good song. So there's a lot of great stuff that you may not hear on others, but you will hear it here. All right. So coming in at 32, and I probably would have put it up in the top 20s. All right. So coming in at 32 is my buddy, R&B guy, great music, great lower voice, Lou Rawls. All right. Lou Rawls, I'm friends with his son, Lou Rawls Jr. Lou Rawls, You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine. What a great song. I mean, it just flew off his mouth. Great R&B, great soul song. People know it when they hear it. and just it's one of them songs that you just like you can't get it out of your head. It's such a great song. So I would have moved that up in the top 10, at least top 10, if not top 20. All right. Now here's another great song by the Bee Gees coming up at 31, which I would have moved up in at least the top 30s. This is 31. So I would maybe a little bit less than 30. But by the Bee Gees, You Should Be Dancing. Now that was, again, early disco, but great, great song. Great sound by the Bee Gees. Again, my favorite songs by them were a lot of the other songs, but this was still a good tune. I liked it. Okay. Going into the top 30. Now, again, a lot of these are disco songs in 1976. That's when the changeover from rock on the airways was getting to more disco sounding songs and disco related music at that time. So in the 30 was Love Roller Coaster by the Ohio Players. Now, I like that song. I thought that song was pretty cool. I heard it a lot, played it a lot at dances, and if it's requested, I always play it here. Love to hear it. Going into the 29 now, a song, again, I'm a big trumpet guy, right? So I love horns. So the name of the band at the time was called Rhythm Heritage. Again, a disco sounding song, but the song would have never made it if it wasn't for the TV show that it was about, SWAT. This is the theme from SWAT, the song of SWAT. The band SWAT, the TV show SWAT had a lot of great people in it, but was all about police taking over, whatever they were doing to stop a terrorist or whatever they were doing at the time. That's what they call SWAT teams in. Okay, that's why that song propelled it even higher. So I would have kept that probably close to where it was. All right, here's a song that I think that near and dear to my heart coming up at 28. I would think it would be in the top 10. Again, I had a lot of top 10s, and they would all be vying for top 10 position. Right Where We Started From by Maxine Nightingale. And I still love that song today. It's a good singing song, but it's also a good melody type of song. It's one of them songs that should be on everybody's playlist, whether you like rock, whether you like soul, whether you like R&B, whether you like this or that. It was a great song back in the 76. All right. Going in at 27. Now, I don't agree with this one, and I'll tell you why. Coming in at number 27 was Sweet Love by the Commodores. Now, the Commodores had some great songs. Yes, wonderful songs. Sweet Love was okay to me. I would have put it in the 40s. Doesn't mean I don't like the Commodores. Just means that song particularly, I would have moved down, and I'd probably move the other ones up. That's my opinion, okay? But it's a good song nonetheless. All right. Now, another song that come in at 26, again, Shake Your Booty by Casey and the Sunshine Band. I would have moved it back a lot. I would have not put it up in the 20s. I would have put it back maybe in the 30s or 40s, maybe 50s, something like that. Again, my opinion, still a good song, but very repetitive. Okay. Another song that I love coming up right now, I would have put in my top 10. Again, the Eagles with Take It to the Limit. A great song that had great song structure. And the incredible lyrics that they used, or whatever they used for Take It to the Limit, made it to the Greatest Hits album. It was such a great song. It's one of them songs that people you play today, and you know exactly what they're going to say, how they're going to say it, where they're going to say it, the melodies, the harmonies, and everything else. I would have moved that in my top 10. Easy. All right. Going into 24, the 24th song on the Billboard charts. All right. Get Up and Boogie by the Silver Convention. Again, a more disco-oriented song. A good song nonetheless, but not something that I would put up in the 20s. I would have put that maybe in 30 or 40. Still a good song, though, okay? I'm not going to say anything bad about it. All right, this other song here we got coming up at 23, Love Hurts by Nazareth. I thought that that was a great song. I thought that Love Hurts was a realistic, true song that told a story. And we always play that song. It's always going to be played. Never going to stop playing Love Hurts by Nazareth. Great song. Okay, number 22, You Sexy Thing by Hot Chocolate. Now, I like that song. I would have put that in, again, in the top 10, top 15, at least top 15. But a great tune. All right, my good buddy, John Ford Coley from England, Dan and John Ford Coley, which was Dan Seals at the time. He did a song and they did a song called I'd Really Love to See It Tonight. Now, that is whatever you want to call yacht rock. But great tune nonetheless. Everybody knows the words. Everybody knows what to sing. Everybody's heard it 1,000 or 1,000,000 times. But still a good song nonetheless. Okay. Going in at 20, Boogie Fever by the Silvers. More disco-oriented, but not my favorite song by the band. You know, not my favorite song by the music. It's okay. All right. Let's go into number 19. I probably would have kept that where it's at. I probably made it a little bit later. 19, Misty Blue by Dorothy Moore. Again, R&B soul, I would have moved it to 40. Still a good song, but I just would have moved it to 40. My next song would have been in the top 5. Easy top 5. I'm going to tell you that right now, and I'll tell you why. Number 18 on Billboard charts in 1976 is Bohemian Rhapsody by the band Queen. A musical masterpiece by Freddie Mercury and, of course, Brian May. Incredible song still to this day. It's one of them songs that it picks you up, pulls you in, and keeps you there. One of my top 5 songs of all time. Every decade had certain songs that would be number 1. That still would be my number 1 to 5 song. That's my opinion. Bohemian Rhapsody was probably one of the best songs Queen ever did, where it rocks like nothing else, sounds like nothing else, and it's got great, great harmonies in it. Okay. That's my opinion of that. Okay. Number 17, we have More by the Andrea True Connection. Now, here's something about people you might not know. Andrea True was a porn actress. The song was about porn acting, and it was about love connection. Now, even though the song was still a good song, it doesn't change the view of mine about how good of a song it was. I still would have kept it probably where it's at 17. I think that's fair. It's a great song. It's not a bad song. It's got nothing to do with the porn actress. It's got nothing to do with the music. It sounds good. We're going by voice only and what it sounds like, not what it's supposed to be depicting, what it sounds like. All right. A good song that I agree with here at number 16, I have to agree with this because I love this band, was by Seals and Croft. At the time, Seals and Croft were dominating the 70s with a lot of great songs they had out. Diamond Girl, Summer Breeze. But this song was one of them songs that you just didn't think that was a bad song at all. It's called Get Closer. I would have kept it at 16. It's definitely in a good spot. So I think from now on, you're going to see a lot of the songs I agree with pretty much with some of the numbers, but I might have to move them up a little bit. All right. So going into number 15, we have Love Hangover by Diana Ross. Another great song by Miss Ross herself. An incredible tune. that brings a lot of different sounds to her escapade of sounds, of music that she's created. Again, Diana Ross is one of the people that, you know, you don't ever think that a person, hold on a second. They're asking me to do something here, so I'm going to do this real quick. But I'm also on, while we're here, guys, I'm also on TikTok. So if you want to say hi to them, you can say hi to them. Hi, everybody on TikTok. How you doing? Diana Ross was amazing. So I would have kept that at 15 because I think that belongs there. It's a great song. Number 14 was Fly, Robin, Fly by Silver Convention. I think that song's a pretty cool song as far as a disco type song. I would have kept it there at 14. All right. This one I'm going to have to change. I don't agree with this one. Number 13 by Barry Manilow, the man who's written more tunes and sang more songs than a lot of the artists that are out there that are single or one-hit wonders. I write the songs. Top 5. Easy top 5 song. I don't care what chart it's on, rock, country, whatever it is. Still one of my top 5 songs. I write the songs. Number 12, I disagree with as well. Starland Vocal Band, Afternoon Delight. Good harmonies, good slide guitar, good sounding song, but that would have been way, way back in the 60s and 70s. A number 60 or 70 up there. Not that it's not a bad song. It's just that at that time, I would have put that song there. And I'm going to disagree with a lot of these. I can tell you that now. Coming in at number 11 in 1976 on Billboard charts, Sarah Smile with Hall & Oates. I think that'll probably very close to where I would want it because it's such a good song. I have nothing else to say. Nothing bad about that. All right. Coming in at 10, A Fifth of Beethoven by Walter Murphy and the Big Apple Band. For many of you don't know, Walter Murphy was a studio musician that comprised a lot of different songs on the radio and worked with a lot of different artists. But I would have never put that at 10. I would have put that at 40 or 50. That's, again, in my opinion, good song, disco-oriented song about the Fifth of Beethoven. All right. Definitely don't agree with this one. I would have moved this one with Dreamweaver. All right. Dreamweaver would probably have been where this number is. All right. Not coming in, number 9 on Billboard charts is Love Is Alive. Don't agree. By Gary Wright. My first one would have been Dreamweaver. Love Is Alive would have been 40 or 50 or 60 back there. Not a bad song, but my favorite by him is Dreamweaver, just so you guys know. At number 8, I don't agree with this one either. Although I love Paul Simon as a regular artist, or a solo artist, and Simon and Garfunkel, I love the writing of his songs and music. I would have never put this song as number 8 in 1976. I would have put this song at maybe number 60 or something like that. I don't know exactly what I would do with that, but I would definitely not have done that. That would have been 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. No, not with me. You're not going to get at number 8 with that. That would have been like 50 or 60, maybe even 70 or something like that. Sorry, it's just the way I feel about it. Not a bad song. Again, we're not reaching for bad songs here. All right. Whew, some of these songs are really not going to be my top 10, top 5 either. Coming in at 7 is Love Machine by the Miracles. Although a great song, and I love the Miracles. They were a great, great band, but I would have never put that at 7. I would have put that maybe at 40 or 50, to be honest. But a great song here, nonetheless, coming up at 6 by the Manhattans. Okay? Kiss and Say Goodbye. What a song. I mean, it had the soul sound. It had the R&B sound. It had the talking lyrics in it. Just an amazing song. I would have probably kept it at 6. I think that's a good number for that. Coming in at number 5, Wild Cherry, the band Wild Cherry. The song is called Play That Funky Music. I think I probably would have put that in 20 or 30, although it's a good song and played at many dances and a lot of people know it and love that song. I still would have never put it in the top 10. Sorry, just not my opinion. Coming in at number 4 on the Billboard charts in 1976, December of 1963, Oh What a Night by the Four Seasons. I might agree with that. That's a great, great song. Have you guys ever heard the full version of that or the disco version of that? It's got a lot of great tune parts to that. It's a good song. Really good song. I would probably agree with that. Keep it at 4. This next song I don't agree with as number 3. I just don't. Johnny Taylor with the song called Disco Lady. Again, 40 or 50 or 60 or more back. There's a lot of other songs I would put ahead of that. Not that it's a bad song. It's just not my favorite cup of tea. Coming in at number 2, Don't Go Breaking My Heart by Elton John and Kiki Dee. See what kind of song that is. You can't get it out of your brain. You can't get it out of your mind. And it's one of them songs that you just keep singing over and over again. That's what that song does to you. And that would have been in my top 10, at least top 10. The first song at number 1 in 1976, okay, is Silly Love Songs by Wings. Again, a Beatle tops the charts in 1976. Silly Love Songs by Wings and Paul McCartney and all the band members, even Linda as well, was a great, great song that had a lot of great sounding changes in it. I mean, even in the middle of the song, it just kept repeating I love you over and over again without instruments. And it just made the song even better, in my opinion, in my only opinion. So that's the songs of 1976. I hope you enjoyed it. I had some friends come in to talk about it. I hope you check out my other reviews. My other review for ELO albums is on there. I'm going to be doing more reviews very soon from the 1980s, the 1990s, the 1950s. We're going to pick out years. We're going to pick out different artists. We're going to talk about their albums. We're going to talk about who was on the albums. We're going to talk about what was going on in the studio at the time. We're going to talk a little bit about a little bit of everything. The stuff that I know that you need to know and you want to hear about. Thank you for your time, guys. Thank you for all your attention. Don't forget, any of these songs at any time you can listen to on hamiltonradio.net, just like it says right there, hamiltonradio.net, right there. See it right there, hamiltonradio.net. We're also on iHeartRadio as Hamilton Radio Oldies. That's Hamilton Radio Oldies. So check us out. Let me know what you think. Request your favorite songs. And here's one thing, guys. When we play the music for artists, they get royalties. They get money for that. So the more you request your favorite artist, your local friends, or whatever, they get paid for that. You're helping write their check. That's one thing that we do. We've been doing it for 28 years. I will continue to keep doing it. Okay? Plus, something else that everybody else doesn't give you. I also say, if you have more than one request, include it. Put as many requests as you want, 10, 15, 20, whatever you want. And sit back, relax, and listen to all your favorite songs in one place for you and your family every day, all day. HamiltonRadio.net, Hamilton Radio Oldies on Alexa and Google devices, on the Odyssey Network, on TuneIn Radio, on iHeartRadio, and many other places as well. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. God bless you all. Check me out. I am DocG. I'll talk to you all soon. God bless you. Have a great night. Okay, guys, we are done. Thank you for